Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we are unpacking the massive 2026 U.S. government declassification of UAP files and looking at the grassroots investigators all over the globe who are hunting for the truth. We are in a truly unprecedented moment right now. Decades of top-secret government archives are finally colliding head-on with cutting-edge civilian research, and honestly, the sheer volume of data we're looking at is just mind-boggling.
So let's just jump right in. Within literally days of these files dropping, independent analysts, news networks, you name it, they were generating millions and millions of views breaking down this footage. And everybody's trying to answer one fundamental question, right? Are we alone? And maybe even more importantly, did the government just finally show us what they've been hiding all along?
Okay, let's dive into this. Take a look at this quote. As Secretary of War Pete Hegseth noted, this massive data dump, which was directed by the Trump administration, aimed for strict, unprecedented transparency regarding archives that had been locked away for up to 89 years. The mandate was completely clear. Identify and declassify records connected to unexplained sightings, and bring these documents out of the dark and into the public eye.
Now, before we get too deep into the data, we should probably clarify the strict parameters of what we're actually looking at. We're talking about UAPs, Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena. You guys probably know the term, but it's crucial to remember that the Pentagon's umbrella isn't just focused on airspace anymore. This release covers unresolved cases across maritime and space domains too. It's essentially a highly rigorous, multi-domain scientific dragnet for things we simply cannot identify. You know what's truly staggering about all of this? It's how rapidly this unprecedented declassification happened. Just look at this timeline. In 2024, the NDAA mandates the collection of these records into the National Archives. Then, February 2026, a presidential directive accelerates the whole thing, ordering immediate transparency. Boom. By May 8th, the first tranche of files drops. Just 2 weeks later, May 22nd, the second tranche is released. For a massive multi-agency bureaucracy, that is lightning fast.
All right, let's move on to Section 1, Inside the Pursuit Archives.
So, inside Pursue, which stands for the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters, the volume of data is just staggering. 222. That is the number of previously classified files in just the second tranche released on May 22nd alone. We're talking about highly restricted documents, infrared videos captured by fighter jets, actual audio recordings from space missions. It's the whole shebang. It's an absolute treasure trove for researchers, dumped right onto the public web for anyone to download and analyze.
And this really brilliantly illustrates the incredible variety found in these archives. Look at this spread. You've got the Apollo 12 mission way back in 1969, where astronauts on medical debrief tapes are discussing green fireballs and orbs in space. Fast forward to 2022, and you have highly advanced military infrared cameras capturing a formation of 4 UAPs operating right near the Iranian coast. And then we go all the way back to the late 1940s with sightings at the restricted Sandia base. This phenomenon isn't new, and it's definitely not isolated to one specific location or era. It is literally everywhere.
That brings us to Section 2, Skeptics, Scientists, and Believers.
So what do people actually make of this massive multi-agency release of unresolved cases? Well, as you might expect, the reaction is deeply polarized. On one side, you have skeptics and mainstream scientists, like astrophysicists, reviewing the footage, pointing out that many of these videos could simply be optical artifacts, camera glare or weather balloons. They argue that eyewitness accounts, even from highly trained pilots, can be notoriously unreliable. But on the exact opposite side of the spectrum, believers are feeling super validated right now. We've even seen reports of Christian pastors holding meetings, warning their congregations to prepare for a major spiritual paradigm shift. They're actually fearing these files might reveal non-human intelligence or translucent beings. It's a truly fascinating cultural split.
But here's the thing, the absolute core of this 2026 disclosure lies in the government's official stance. The Department of War explicitly stated that these are unresolved cases, meaning they are unable to make a definitive determination. Basically, the government is remaining completely neutral here. They aren't confirming aliens, they aren't confirming interdimensional travelers. They are simply throwing their hands up and saying, here is data from our absolute best sensors, and we have absolutely no idea what it is.
Okay, Section 3, India's UFO investigators.
While the Pentagon is out there dealing with billion-dollar sensors, everyday citizens around the world are actively scanning the skies themselves. These historic newspaper clippings detail how independent researchers in India have been tracking historical anomalies for decades. Take the famous mass sighting over a Manabhum mine, witnessed by an estimated 800 people who saw a saucer-shaped object just hover before suddenly taking off. It just goes to show that the drive to understand these phenomena isn't just a Western, government-led initiative, it's a deeply human, global pursuit.
And the people leading this charge today are incredibly dedicated. Just to name a few, you have Kumarasan Ramanathan, an IT engineer who actually got certified by the Mutual UFO Network. You have Ramkrishan Vaishnav, who uses the Drake equation to mathematically analyze the probability of these cases. You've got Hitesh Yadav, a tech student who had his own encounter as a kid and now runs Disclosure Team India. And of course, Pushkar Vaidya, an astrobiologist who acts as the ultimate skeptic, demanding hard scientific evidence. These guys using flight trackers, Geiger counters, and rigorous scientific principles to sort the genuine mysteries from the hoaxes.
And honestly, they have to apply these rigorous methods because it is just so easy to be fooled. When you contrast the classic, clean illustrations of flying saucers with the reality of those grainy, ambiguous historical photos, you immediately see why. As Ramanathan notes from his own investigations, 97 out of 100 cases turn out to be completely explainable. They're optical illusions, satellite flares, or mundane objects like drones and balloons. But it's that remaining 3%, those cases that completely defy all conventional explanation. That's what keeps them, and honestly, that's what keeps us so captivated.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, the Unresolved Unknowns.
Look, after analyzing 89 years of declassified Pentagon files and looking at the tireless analytical work of civilian investigators, we reached the core of this entire phenomenon. The 2026 purest disclosures did not confirm extraterrestrials, but they proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that profound mysteries remain in our skies. The data clearly shows that our most highly advanced military sensors, infrared cameras, radars, satellite tracking, are still picking up phenomena that completely defy our current understanding of physics and aerodynamics. There's something there, we just don't know what it is.
So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. With the government finally opening its vaults to the public and dedicated civilians rigorously watching the skies, where does that leave us? Are we truly on the brink of discovering that we aren't alone in the universe? Or, as some scientists suggest, are we just staring at the absolute limits of our own sensor technology, misinterpreting glitches as ghost ships? Whatever the truth actually is, these files leave us looking up at the vastness of the universe, wondering what other unresolved mysteries are waiting out there. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep your eyes on the skies.